People have been shoved on my tours. We do go where we do surf the big waves, and we do go to some prime areas. And also on my tours, for example, this is your private tour, so you would let me know, Allan, I'm really interested in the missing or UFOs, or, tell me about this, the 33rd parallel here in New Mexico. You're from here, you grew up here. Oh, yeah, okay. I try to tack the tour towards their interests. And every now and then, let's say if somebody comes from Massachusetts, say, hey, Allan, tell me about Lizzie Borden. Okay, well, I've done Lizzie Borden backwards and forwards. I'll tell you about Lizzie Borden. And in a nutshell, she did it, Gary. She was guilty. Okay. Other tours that I do, I also do history tours. And again, too, these are private tours. In other words, my tours, you're not going to be bothered by obnoxious strangers. It's going to be your private group, and you're going to be able to ask as many questions as you want. And on my history tours, we do Santa Fe, which is the oldest European capital city in the USA. Takes us from the days of the conquistadors to Wild West, the Civil War, Billy the Kid, and to the true story behind the Manhattan Project and Soviet spies here in Santa Fe. In other words, here in Santa Fe in 1945 is where Uncle Sam got his pockets picked. This is hallowed ground for the KGB. This is where Joe Stalin and the boys were able to, this is where the key secrets left the USA.
Oh, wow. Hey, have you ever put field cams out there, just to pick up anything that out of the ordinary you might find, like Bigfoot or any cryptids, that you may catch?
Well, the field cams that have been put on out there have resulted in zero. And then there's been a couple of field cams that have been, how they got found on out, I have no idea. They got stolen. But so it's been a zero as far as field cams go.
Oh, wow, that's too bad. How about any EMF work or any other kind of scientific work on the grounds out there in that area?
Well, I've done EMF work on out there in that area, but I have not, like I told you, our equipment there has malfunctioned there in these areas where the people have gone missing, and that's beyond belief. Now, there's one EMF meter that did work, and this was a number of years ago, and I don't know if I got into this with Senor Anderson there, but I'll go into the story here. And we were there, and at that spot where the rods went crossing, and this was a tri-field meter, and that thing just pegged off the chart, and it was screaming. And there's only been maybe 3 times in 3 or 4 times that I've ever had a meter scream on me, and that was remarkable. And on that investigation, the batteries did not go bad on that one. In other words, we got readings before everything went smash. And the Geiger at that spot was going anywhere from 75 to, gosh, what was it? I'm going to, let me say from 75 to 175 REMs. It was just going backwards and forwards right in that area where you'd move the Geiger counter. And then, of course, you get to 200, then you're going to be getting into trouble. That's where you can only stay in a spot for, a couple of hours. What was it? Fukushima's at 280 or something to that effect. But that's the only time that went off there, that we've been able to, do meters on up there, and it worked. But again, too, what would cause that kind of radioactive pulse at that spot? This is the Emma Tresp spot. Again, too, I mean, this is, outer limits, Rod Serling type of happenings, but it's fact. And I have pictures of that on my website so that people can see what's going on. I also had cameras fail on me up there, not only with the batteries but with the film. Video cameras completely go wonky on me up there. So what I do have as far as proof of what I'm telling you, some of it or all of it is listed on the website. That's SantaFeGhostandHistoryTours.com, and you can go to the Pecos Triangle or whatever. In other words, it's like about 200 and some pages from ghosts here in Santa Fe to goings on outside of Santa Fe to UFOs, on and on. So you'll see proof of what I'm talking about there.
Wow. Has there been a lot of reports of UFO sightings or abductions in that area also?
Well, yeah, one of the things when we do have UFOs, we do have a number of sightings. Now, as far as abductions or people missing, you say, well, where did they go? I mean, did a UFO get this person, or did he fall into a doorway that opened on up underneath their feet? Who knows what happened? But yeah, there's a number of beyond bizarre type of incidents. For example, like cattle mutilation. When we do get the phenomena of cattle mutilation, it's linked to UFO activity. In other words, UFOs are seen before or after a rancher finds his cow mutilated in a pasture. And for those that aren't familiar with this, the cow, or sometimes a number of cows, have been, or let's go with one cow, has been killed right away. There's no sign of struggle. And its sexual organs have been removed, and not with a cleaver, not with a knife. In other words, like laser-like precision. There's no blood splattered. Also, they're like a small little incision in their chest where the heart has been taken on out. And their rear area, anal area, has been cored on out. Also, eyes and tongue are missing. And these carcasses are found underneath trees, atop crags. There's no footprints around these carcasses. There's no tire tracks. You say, what could have killed this animal? And of course, the mainstream media with their lackeys are going to say, it got hit by lightning, it ate some poisonous food. Well, then how did it get mutilated? And, a badger did it. No, sir. No, ma'am. Badgers do not do this. Where are the animal tracks around this mutilated animal? Also, roughly about 90% of the blood has been drained from the cow. Again, too, how can that happen? And rare circumstances, maybe it's not as rare, but, as far as investigations go, hemoglobin droplets have been found on the hide of the cow. That's the separation of the iron from the blood. And you say, how could that happen out in the middle of the wilds out there? It just does not compute. Well, then again, why would UFOs be interested, aliens be interested in bovines? Because here's my theory, the world according to Allan. Bovine blood is closest to human blood that there is. It's closer than chimpanzee. So does this have something to do with hybrids, with the missing people, with cows? And that's the link between these phenomena?
Well, you know what, Allan, I'm going to say one thing, I'm going to jump into this, is that a famous pathologist here about a month now ago, there was a case in Oregon and he's investigated a lot of these. What he said that these poor cattle, when they're mutilated, they're standing up when it's happening. They're alive when it happens. They're not laying down, on a gurney or laying down on their side when all this stuff is going on. They're actually at the start standing. And the reason why he said that is when you remove the eyes, you have liquid between the eyes and your brain. And it would leak out and then go off the side of its face. In a lot of these cases, the liquid, it's between the brain and eyes, are leaking out and running off the nostrils, which says this animal, when it had its eyes removed and some of the stuff was happening to it, was standing. So, I mean, that tells me they don't really care about what they're doing if they inflict pain.
Yeah, well, that's, gosh, that I had not heard that. I did not know that. Yeah, well, that's going to go into another, to squash this story of the red herring. Like, for example, up in northern New Mexico, Dulce, New Mexico, or they call them, it's Dulce, but people call it Dulce. Yeah, there's been cows that have been found, and the mainstream media will say, well, that's government doing something, and this cow got dropped, and that's come it landed on this fence, or that's how come it was found here by this NATO American gas mask. Well, no, that is just left there on purpose to get the mainstream sheeple reporters, the prostitutes, to end up going along with the company line. Oh, it's nothing to do with something from beyond this world. Black Ops from Uncle Sam's doing that. No, we do not have the technology to do that. And when they're being dropped on top of a fence, they're doing that too, so that it's a red herring.
Oh, yeah.
Just what you told me,
Allan,
we do not have that kind of technology.
Our time is up. Why don't you plug your website, your phone number, how they can get a hold of you if they want a tour when they come through, your area?
Oh, all right. My website is SantaFeGhostAndHistoryTours.com. I'm available for tours, for lecture, for acting gigs, be it film or TV, documentary or drama. You go to my website, or you can even just say Al Pacheco or Allan Pacheco Ghost Tours Santa Fe, and you'll get to my website, be it Google or Yahoo, and all that information of telephone numbers, email is there, and we can do a history tour, a ghost tour, and off we go. Also, I got books on Amazon, be it ghosts, UFO, conspiracy, etc. And gosh, what else can I tell you? I guess that's it there, Gary. That's the plug. Santa Fe Ghost Tours. Santa Fe Ghost and History Tours.com.
Yeah, and it pops right up, too. So if you type that in, and then if you type his name in, it pops up, and type Amazon, you'll see all his books. Allan, I want to thank you again so much for coming on the show. And you know what? Take it easy and be careful for what you do out there, will you?
All right. Well, all the best to you. Happy holidays to you and James. Everybody out there, happy holidays. Drive safely.
You too, my friend.
Thank you.
You take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
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 So anyway, our next guest is coming up here in about 4 minutes. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. This is Gary, so stay tuned. Go get a cup of tea, cup of Java, get a nice warm blanket, curl up next to that fireplace, because I tell you what, when the show's over, I'm going to go, up to my electric fireplace, that is, with a blanket and try to get warm. I'm freezing in the studio. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.